Hello and welcome, everyone. Welcome to DevChatter. I hope you're all having a great start to the week. We are here on a Monday. We're going to be doing a little bit of C# and ASP.NET code. If this is your first time here on the stream, I want to welcome you and let you know that you are free to ask questions. You can follow along. You can find all the source code that we do here on the stream over on GitHub at github.com/devchatter. That includes, even the one-off projects we do are usually out there. Even if I don't push it during the stream, I'll usually get it right afterwards. And as I said, feel free to ask questions, chime in chat, anything like that. Me and any guests that I ever have on the stream are usually in the chat room, so we can see those, answer them. And other than that, I want to tell you a little bit about today's episode. We are going to be doing another pair programming stream. As you probably noticed, I have a guest up in the corner over there. He is actually someone who's been on the stream before, but I will let David introduce himself, tell us a little bit about who he is.
Hi everyone, I'm Dave Paquette. I'm a software developer based out of Calgary, Canada, and focusing mostly on .NET development and web development. I blog occasionally. You can check out my blog over at davepaquette.com. I'm also a member of the ASP.NET Monsters. We do some video sessions talking about ASP.NET Core and Azure, and you can check that out at aspnetmonsters.com.
Yep, Mobabo is correct there. So first off, welcome, and thanks for coming back on the stream, David. Yeah, something got weird on your mic
scratchy,
there.
Huh?
Yeah, it got scratchy or something.
Yep.
I don't know.
Sec.
I will turn off your audio from the stream, and I will give you feedback on it. No, that's not better yet. But they're saved from any scratchy sound for the moment, because I hear you, but they don't right now. That's better. I don't know if you changed something. Okay. Okay, I'll turn your... There you go. Is that...
Okay.
All right. I don't know...
It's better for everyone then?
Yeah, it sounds a little better. So...
Okay. Cool.
Okay. So, quick intro to the project that we're doing. So, I want to give a... I don't know... Well, we don't need to be in the program CS file. I don't know why. I just opened that so we could make sure that we were connected in VS Live Share. Here is essentially what we are building. I'm going to open up the... which file do I want to make? I guess I'll open up create.cshtml right now. Which is just a standard scaffolded page. And... no, Will, that's I hope it's not a cat scratching. That'd be bad. Okay, so here's what we're building. It is an ASP.NET Core website. We are using, as I said, Core, and we're using Razor pages for some of our content. That we're also using MVC controllers in our ASP.NET site. In addition to that, we're also doing Vue.js to bind things in the front end when we need JavaScript functionality. So that's sort of the structure that we went with for this project. I expect it to work pretty well together because I do know of a good number of sites that have done this model, although I know more sites that have done the full SPA approach in Vue.js and called into the API controls of the API controllers of ASP.NET Core. We should be able to do the same thing here even without using the SPA aspect of Vue, because the binding should still work pretty well for us. So that's the plan for how we're going to structure this. As for what the project is, essentially the idea is that we want to build a site that can help developer streamers. So I think I mentioned that long time ago, over 10 months ago, I started streaming here regularly. So that's when I chose the schedule that I do, which is Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday streaming. When I chose that, I basically looked at every other developer streamer I could find, figured out when their schedules were, and made sure that I didn't overlap with anybody. And so I was like, these times work. Okay, cool. And I can tell you, that was not easy to figure out. because there is no location where any other streamer has that kind of thing. And if you try to do it now, and I can tell you there are a lot more software developer streamers today than there were 10 months ago, it is really complicated to figure out. And one of the big pieces of feedback that I get from a lot of the people who I've helped them, start streaming, like Ed Charbonneau, who you guys know he's been a guest on our stream, as well as Mark Miller, for example. When both of them were scheduling their streams, we were going over the fact that you want to try to avoid other developers because you're going to lose viewers. You will not have as many if you're competing. So the feedback that I get sometimes from people is if they're going at the same time that I'm streaming, they have fewer viewers. If they're going at the same time as Fritz is streaming, they have fewer viewers, etc. And it's only if your content hits the same audience. So, for example, I've got another friend who's one of the developer streamers on here that does a C++ stream. His stream and my stream, we don't generally compete. When our streams overlap, no big deal. There's also the gaming streamers tend not to overlap quite as much with the people that are doing web apps, although I do a little bit of both here on the stream. But, that kind of consideration, what content? So there isn't a great list, but that's also part of what this site is for. So the other thing, not just scheduling, is from the viewer perspective. So that is the perfect question. It is, as a viewer, you might want to see who the streamers are and when they're streaming. So if you have time to watch streams on, say, Friday, you might want to look and say, well, who's streaming on Friday? And you can go and look. And you might say, well, who's streaming that's a streamer that does a lot of C# content? Or that does, Vue.js or something like that. So I know a streamer that always does Vue on Tuesdays. And so his Tuesday streams are Vue content. So those kinds of things. Does that all make sense, everyone in the audience and David?
Yeah, it sounds cool. Super useful.
So that's kind of the concept. Because right now, if I go to Twitch, I can just look up who's live now, but I can't see who's live tomorrow or anything else. So, okay. All right, the basic structure. So we had last week we pulled another guest on the stream that was pairing with us, and when he was on here, we came up with some data models that we thought would work. So I'm going to go ahead and pull those up so we can take a look. And part of this is so that everybody in the audience gets caught up on what we're building, and part of this is so David is up to speed as well and can help us. In case you didn't guess from his mentioning that he's an ASP.NET monster, I think David knows how to do web dev stuff.
That's the idea.
You've done it once?
Once. Exactly once.
Okay, so essentially what we did is we worked with John on last Tuesday to figure out what we wanted to structure our data as. Now, he knows a lot more about time zones than anyone I've ever talked to, and certainly anyone else that's been on the stream. And we went over what structure would be best. So here's the challenge, and I'm not going to go into the details of time zones because we literally spent an entire episode going over time zones. If you want to see that, you can go watch that one. The time zone stuff, as far as we're concerned, is this. When a streamer puts their schedule into the system, and if say, I do a stream on 2 p.m. my time, right? That's what time this stream started today, is 2 p.m. I'm probably going to start at 2 p.m. no matter what time it is. So when we shift into daylight savings time, things like that, I am still going to go at 2 p.m. whatever my time is. Now, if you change your daylight savings time, no matter when you change that, we need to make sure that everything is scheduled as if it's 2 p.m. my time is the start, so that nothing gets weird. Because there's actually a week on both sides in the spring and the fall when Europe and North America don't line up. David, do you know, does Canada switch at the same time as the US?
We do, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've I've never run into the problem, so I assumed yes, but but it's possible that I don't know the
We have
intricacies.
areas that don't switch. There are certain provinces
Yes.
that don't.
And see, that's the thing is I knew you guys also had some weird places like we do that don't switch. Like there's a
Mhm.
state where, like in the United States, there's one state that does not switch. And I used to have a meeting with a European, a guy that lived in the state that didn't switch, and then me. And it was really, really weird because you'd get like, oh, well, there's this week where this happened. Wait a minute, he's not here. Why didn't he show up today? Oh, his time zone wait, but he okay. And then the next week we lost the other guy because his time zone didn't switch, and mine then did. And we're like, all right, 2 weeks in a row, and someone missed the meeting each time because time zones are horrible. So this is why we went through the details. We're going to make sure that we handle time zones correctly so that we actually get this working. Obviously, we don't need to handle like every single edge case, but it'd be nice if, generally speaking, we could schedule something. So we grabbed Notatime. Here's the basic structure that we went with. So we're going to store the local date time, the local start time, and the end time specified by the developer streamer. We're going to store what time zone ID they are in. So they're going to tell us their time zone, the start time, and the end time. From that, we are going to pull, actually this is the wrong, I'm looking at the wrong one. They're going to tell us the start time and the end time. For them, we know their time zone ID because they told us. So when they set up their account, they tell us what time zone they're in, and then from that, when they schedule a session, they tell us the start time and the end time in their time zone, and they tell us what day of the week it happens. So Mondays at 2 p.m. as the start time, they could just put that in. They could put, say, 4 p.m. as the end time. Nice and easy. And, they're just like, yep, this is in my time. I don't have to figure anything out. The streamer doesn't have to mess with anything.
Makes sense.
Thing that we do here, and this is why this is not the one to show there, is this is a specific entry. So in order to make things a little bit easier for us to figure out, the idea in the system is when you get a session from when someone tells you when they're going to be streaming, you can go and make, say, a year out an example event for, essentially just create a year's worth of repeating events. And so these are the exact instances, and we record what time they told us and where they are in this, as well as putting in what the UTC time is for that. Now, the reason why we can't maintain these, just create these in advance and be like, oh yeah, they're good, is one thing. And that is, sometimes countries decide, hey, we're going to change when we switch daylight savings time. And I will mention this because, well, the country I live in did that recently, and a lot of other countries do that, and they do that pretty often. Now, we as developers don't really need to deal with it because we use libraries that take care of it. So we use the Notatime time zone database, and that's what this value is here. So we record which database we pulled this from, and then when they update it, we can be like, oh, nope, we need to switch to the new one. So if Canada all of a sudden decides, hey, you know what, we're not gonna, daylight savings time anymore, everyone else is dumb, I don't have to be like, oh dang it, I need to fix that. No, I just update to the new database, it takes care of everything, and it's fine. So it'll know what the correct time is in Canada at any given point. And it'd be really, really weird if it were like, Canada switched except for like Manitoba decided, no, we're going to keep doing it.
That's probably what would happen.
Yeah, you're going to have province, I almost said state, you're going to have one that's going to be weird. And that's part of the challenge. The same thing like when I say that Europe and the US don't line up. It's like, well, sort of. I mean, even Europe does, it's like even when I say that, it's like, yeah, Europe and North America or Europe and the United, it's like, well, okay, mostly. We mean mostly. But again, that's the complexity. So does that all make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So here's what we got. Let's. I want to make some pages. The main thing we're working on. Let's run the site. It's Battleship Gray right now, which should not surprise you. I haven't really styled anything on it yet because I want to get all the forms in place. We don't need color yet. Color is for once it's working.
I hear ya. Make it work, then make it pretty.
Yeah. Make it work, make it right, make it pretty, make it fast. You know.
Something like that.
Yeah, all those things. Where did I put this stuff? Streams create? Yeah, I think that's where it is. Okay, so
Well, you already made it pretty.
That's pretty? Oh, wow. Okay, so here's what we have basically is we can fill in some basic data. So I could put in a stream, you know, and be like my stream 1, and the URI is like twitch.tv/mystream1. And that's the name. Obviously, I could name it with a real name, right? Because that's not a URL. It's just a name to describe it for anyone looking at it. Then for country, I can pick the one I want, like say, I don't know, let's pick the UK. And then I get United Kingdom time. So we've actually already niced up our time zone IDs a little bit. And when we click create, it should make it. And boom, there we go. We have
Cool.
2 streams in the system now. So that's how we can set up the basic channel. And if we look at the data that came in from that, this is our starting point. The next thing we want to do is schedule events, which is maybe more complicated. We'll see. It's this one. And I apologize if you can't see this on here, David, when I'm in here, but you could look on the stream. All right, and so in here you can see this is the data that actually gets put in the database, right, like this. We've got IDs, we have names, we have a URI that does not have any restrictions on it yet. We have time zones, and we have the country. Now, the reason that we save the country is that we want to be able to reload that information. So in order to make time zones easier, obviously I'm not going to list every time zone. It's much easier if you first pick what country you're in and then choose the available time zones. Obviously, with the UK, there wasn't much to see. So this doesn't reload yet, but I'm not terribly worried about making that nice. We can do that later. So UK, only one choice, but if I say switch to the United States, you'd see I have a bunch of choices. Thanks, United States, for making that awesome. Okay, so that's the basic stuff that we've got there. On the schedule page, I want to do a couple of things. So the schedule page is the one where we want to actually schedule, say, day of the week, time, you know, for a stream, right? Let me show you what's on here. Schedule, create. Right now we only have a create page. We don't have like the full CRUD. So can you see that on the stream yet? I don't know what your delay is like there, David.
Yep. Yeah,
okay.
I see it there.
So this is basically what we were setting up for this. Now there's a couple of things I want to do with this, which maybe you've got some suggestions for. I'm creating the schedule for a stream, right? So at some point I need to get the idea of whose stream I'm on, and I'm wondering, should I be doing a URL? Well, actually, let's look at it here. Let's go to the back end of the CSHTML file, and then you and I can talk about it.
Sure.
With like text. So right now, whoops. The structure is basically like this. So I need to get in somewhere in here, the values we need to have are the channel ID of the stream, and then for create, I guess I don't need anything else, but I would need this for all the others, right? So like if these are the various pages, we'd have like create, edit, index, you know, what is it, detail? Is it detail or delete? Details.
When you're editing or doing the details, would you need the channel ID or just the
I would need probably the event ID on that one then.
Yeah, because then you would know the channel ID if you.
True, yeah. So I guess I don't need the channel ID on those. So this would be like...
I think just the create and maybe the index if you wanted to filter that way. But
Yeah, because this would just be the ID and the ID then.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good point. Never do I need both IDs at the same time. Yeah, you win. It's easier than I thought. Cool. Well, that simplifies it. I like it. Okay.
And with the index, are you wanting to list out just the streams for that channel, or are you looking to list all streams at that point?
I was thinking on the stream schedule index, we would show all for that channel, so it'd be like the way of seeing that channel's scheduled streams. Cool. So my plan is to have like a main calendar page on the front that is like a standard calendar view of content, and have that be filterable and everything like this. But this is more like managing content screens. So obviously I haven't put in the authentication authorization piece yet, so like anybody can just go to any other channel's stuff and just edit right now, but I'm less worried about that because, well, it's only running on my machine.
Nobody would abuse that anyway, even if you published it.
No, probably not. The funny thing being, I don't actually think anybody would right away. I think for the most part, you'd get a handful of developers that would put their content on there, and everybody else would just be like, cool, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. So, you want to help me figuring this one out?
Yeah.
So, how about we tackle that first one? How do I get that channel ID in here? My brain stopped working today. I assume it's the onGet.
OnGet would be the index, wouldn't it? Oh no, we're on the create.
We're on, yeah, I'm on create already. We can start with one of the other pages if you want.
No, this is good.
And actually, why don't I? You know what? Maybe I should scaffold the whole set of pages then. Now that I think about it.
Let's do that.
That actually might be the cheater way of doing it. But I want to save this one we have here. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to rename this from schedule to. Let's hope this doesn't. Let's hope this doesn't get totally borked. I'm going to try renaming that to saved and hope that things don't get weird with VS Live Share.
We'll see.
So now I'm going to make a schedule folder. And what I want to do is I want to add a Razor page full CRUD thing. So if anyone hasn't seen this, I love the fact that they did this, right? It's not perfect. It doesn't wire them all. It doesn't wire up all the pages the way I want, but it gets you a great starting point for having a full set of CRUD pages. It is a scheduled stream is the model object we're working with. That's our data context. All right, let's try it. It gives us the index, edit, details, delete, and create pages right off the bat, and then we can just take our saved stuff and put that over the create one. Because we know that it's weird. Okay, so that should have done that. Where's saved? So these two are complaining because they're the same thing, basically. So, you know what, I'm just going to delete the one it made for me.
Okay.
And we'll use the one that I saved.
Sounds good.
Glorious, you can find information down below the stream. Hang on, I'm waiting for Visual Studio to catch up. Yeah, I don't use either of those commands. Did Visual
Studio
Studio
disconnected from your session?
Oh, sweet.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that. Visual Studio just reloaded entirely.
All right. So
Live Share didn't like that.
Then.
Is the short answer. I will send you a new link.
Sounds good.
after I moved that file that I was trying to move. I wondered why it like locked up. I was like, Visual Studio is not letting me do anything. Move that into there. Yeah, LiveShare gets a little bit weird when you're moving files around and things like that. That's one of the only things that LiveShare. It's preview, so I'm willing to give them a lot of leeway on this. Let me send you that new link.
None of us have paid a penny for this product yet, so.
Yeah, LiveShare. No, we're happy that it's there because it's really useful. You should be coming in now. Hey, Zenzuki, welcome.
We had somebody do a session at our local user group here, and when they were doing their live coding thing, they posted a LiveShare link so that you could just follow along the code directly on your machine. That was pretty cool. Kind of a neat use for it that I hadn't thought of before.
Yep.
Just like a read-only link. You couldn't edit his files because that would have been madness, but...
Okay, so...
All right, I'm back in.
Awesome. So the create file's right back where it originally was, and the other ones are now here. So we could take a look at the index page first if you wanted. There shouldn't be much to it. It should just be day of the week, start time, and end time. But let's load the page anyway, just to be sure what's there.
Yeah.
Create, whoops, I meant streams, schedule. And this should take us to the index page, and it does, and it's empty, and when I click on create new, it takes me to our customized page.
Perfect.
Kinda.
So now we just need to start adding that channel ID to the...
Yeah, I'm going to anchor to you since I'm hoping you're in the right spot. No.
I'm not there yet, but I will be.
I will stay anchored to you and hope that you get to the right spot for us. There we go.
Is it a channel ID?
Which one are we in? Are we in the right one? No, you're in the
It's
other.
the create
You're in
page?
the other one.
Am I?
Yeah.
Streams create?
We
That's
want
not what
stream
we were looking
schedule
at?
create.
Oh. So close.
So this one.
Got her now.
Yay. There we go. Okay. So we put in a channel ID, and so then we want to create for that channel.
So the first thing we'll want to do is grab that channel record so that we can default these time zone IDs, right? And country name, since that information's already on the channel.
Yes, that's actually a really good idea because we could display the time zone and country that they're creating it for.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good idea. Okay, so let's get rid of these things and do...
I mean, we could still let them change it.
Yeah, but I'm not sure we want to
wanted.
for this one,
Okay.
because we probably want to have them only change that on their like their page, right?
Yeah.
That's just on there because we originally wrote this as the only page that had anything.
Okay.
So that's why it has these controls on it. So we want a prop that's
Time zone ID, I guess.
do we I'm actually thinking about that. Do we want a do we just want it to be a string? Time zone name?
Sure, that works.
Because that should be what we need, really.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So let's grab the record. So did we, did the constructor, did it give us a, where's our constructor? Did we not get an, oh, right, this isn't the default created one.
You look at one of these other ones.
Yeah. So we're going to grab an appdb context right like this. I don't know if you did that already.
You got it. No, wait, sorry. I keep going back to the wrong create. There you
Yeah.
go.
That's one
Beat
of the
me to it.
problems with the way that Razor Pages is set up. They have the confusion of if I crud multiple things, the file name's the same.
Mm-hmm.
So I like some of the concept, but that's one of the points that it falls down a little bit. All right, so that should get us a data context that we can then use inside of here to get us our value. So we can say channels. Whoops, not dined, find. And we're not async yet, but we could be. There's no reason we're not. And we just
Might
need
as
to
well
pass
be.
it. We just need to pass in the key, right?
Yes.
So await that, and you're good. I was hoping you would async us there. So there's our channel, and that ought to work.
Then we have a thing to get the time zone name from
Time
the
zone
ID.
name should be.
What do we have on here? The time zone ID.
Which we should be able to use to get the friendlier name for those.
What is TZ names? Where did that come from?
That's a NuGet package that we have
Okay.
that makes
All right,
the
I don't get
names
autocomplete
friendly.
on here. That's.
What? You should.
I agree that I
TZ
should.
names. Let's see. Get what is this? Get names for time zone. Yeah, there we go. Get names for time zone. I will do that, and then the time zone ID is the first parameter, so time zone ID, and the language code. How do I get a language code out of this?
Interesting.
I'm going to go check this because I haven't looked at how this thing works again. The API of this
Language
thing.
code we might need to grab just from the from our context.
Yep.
What did you do for
Hang on. I'm going to do
creating?
this.
Yeah, current culture info current UI culture.name is what you used previously. There you go.
And then generic, since I don't want to worry about when it is. So we're just going to call it, so for example, like we don't want it to say Eastern Standard Time or Eastern Daylight Time. We want it to go with whatever the generic name is for it. So there we go.
Makes sense.
Which means we no longer need to do any of the like, we don't need those either, shouldn't.
Nope.
So our onGet got simple and should just load with, essentially we just want to pull the time zone so we can display it. Let's take a look at the regular CSHTML file for it. And actually I'm going to say, instead of create, I'm going to say schedule new stream time, since I think that's clearer.
Yep.
We don't need to do the time zone
Don't need
selection.
countries anymore.
Yep. In fact, this whole section can go away. Whole time zone selection here.
We still want
which
to
actually-
display our time zone.
Yeah,
though.
we're going to display it, so
Maybe
yeah.
keep some of that cruft.
We certainly don't need the select then.
No.
So that'll go away, and we don't have a time zone ID on it, so let's just make this. We'll just put this in as a label, like a regular label, and say
Let's call it time zone.
time zone. Model.timezone, right? Yeah. I'm gonna get
Call
rid
it
of
time zone or time zone name. Time zone name.
Good call. Which makes it clear that we're using a friendly name for it, I think.
Yep.
What theme am I using? You mean in Visual Studio or for the site? In Visual Studio, it's just, I don't know, probably whatever the dark theme is, if there's a name for dark theme. Oh, did I build before I refresh this page? I might need to for the code behind to run, yeah. Let's try that again. The real question is, am I running the site over on your computer when I do that?
I don't think so.
Okay. There we go. There's a real error message. Multiple constructors accepting all given argument types have been found into... Oh, whoops. What the... Multiple did I create a duplicate constructor? Was there already one?
Yeah.
Oh, yep.
There was.
Yep, good call.
Fine. I'll just move that over there and
nuke the old one.
This guy.
Good catch, good catch. I'm like, wait, what? There shouldn't be multiples? And somehow I missed that I already had that constructor. Now I need to rebuild in order to get that to work. So we'll do a quick build and run it again. And now it doesn't want to stop the site, so I'm going to kill it. So that's what I think about that. IS Express didn't want to let go.
Yeah, it'll do that sometimes.
It's sentimental.
I've been having fun with IS Express and it just not being able to use certain ports sometimes.
That's weird and annoying.
Yeah, it is, especially since it like usually works, but then sometimes it doesn't. Many hours lost to that problem.
It's not automatically binding this.
Okay. I was wondering about that.
Yeah, it didn't automatically bind, but I can do that.
As the name.
Oh yeah, if we just use ID, maybe it'll automatically wire it up then.
Mm-hmm. But
That's
then it's not super clear that it's a channel ID that we're passing in.
Yeah. So what I was able to do is pass in, I was able to do a query string, and it works just fine then. The display is not quite right, but that's fine.
Let me just look up the... bindings on those.
Also, someone in chat likes our glasses.
My glasses?
No, our glasses. Because we both have like the, you know, kind of squarish frames with the red on the arms.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. We're so
Not
trendy.
exactly the same, but similar.
Okay, what was I looking for here? We've got Razor pages.
Okay. Yeah, we want to pass in our channel ID. I assume you're just hitting the Googles.
Yep.
Let's go over to our page. Let me try this. And I changed it only on the Razor page. Let's see what happens.
All right, that's how that works.
Hey, cool. All right. So that makes sense. So if anybody didn't see what we just did there, the way that I defined the parameter was right here on the page declaration in the Razor file. I just let it know, hey, channel ID is what you're gonna get. So
cool.
So nice.
Okay, so we got our channel, which means we have our time zone that we need for creating. Now we just, basic scaffolding should be all we need for.
I'm gonna do this same thing on the channel page, on the index page before I forget.
Good
So
idea.
I'm gonna put that on there, and then let's, in the back end of the index one, I'm gonna add int channel ID as a parameter, and
Yep.
we're gonna say, so that's listing async, but we want to add a quick where on this for ooh, does that not have scheduled stream does not have the actual property of its channel. Let's put that in. Like they are,
Yeah.
the foreign keys there, I just didn't put it bi-directional like that because I wasn't thinking we'd ever pull them this way. That's a good point, actually. Let's do it the other way. We're not going to do it this way. We're going to pull
Okay.
a channel and include the scheduled streams. Because we could show the channel information, like the channel name on the index page, so we want it anyway.
Good idea.
So, yeah, so we're not pulling this, we're pulling a channel. So, yep, exactly. And it will have scheduled streams on it.
And then we look at the.
And actually, then I just need to do a find on this instead of a where.
Yep.
So that's
And
a find
you said you're doing
async
the
on the channel ID.
include.
Do we do it there or on the other side? Maybe it is there. I don't remember.
Yeah, on the other side you just have a channel, so it's
Oh
too
yeah,
late
yeah,
to
of course,
do
yeah,
the
yeah.
include.
Yeah, gotta do it while we're still just dealing with a querying bit of data.
Yeah. And then
Um,
channel.
we can't find then at that point because it's not a data set. So we have to single async on it instead. And it's gonna be x dot id equals channel ID. So we can't get away with doing the find then if we do it this way, but it works pretty much the same.
Yep.
Cool. All right, I like it.
And then we just need to adjust our index here. We're going to do dot channel scheduled stream. I'm on the CSHTML right now. Streams. Are you getting an error on that?
Scheduled stream 0? No,
Nope,
that's fine.
Good now.
Oh, this is why. Because it goes to plural. Because yep. I'll let you
Double
fix.
plural.
There we go. Yeah, I figured. I'm
There we
like, oh yeah, that would make sense. Because if you just put in the first part, it's didn't switch. Okay, so then we have scheduled streams, and then that should remain the same. Because you just grabbed it off of the channel instead. So awesome. Yep. In theory, then we could put maybe up in the index, instead of saying index, we could say scheduled streams for model dot that's a good point. We could just use title then. We could just use what you put up there.
Yeah, that's true. Why not? Hey.
Yeah. Like, actually, if we're doing that, we might as well. And isn't it just channel dot up there? I think.
Doesn't appear to be.
Okay. Well, go ahead and.
But my IntelliSense on my end here isn't great.
I mean, it's red on my end too, but hang on. So model and then dot channel. There we go.
Dot name?
Probably. Didn't go red, did it?
Everything's red on my side.
It's just all red.
Yep, just a wall of red.
View data and title. Boom.
Gonna close that out, and it's not.
There we go. Let's have a look. Schedule and index /2. Oh, actually, let me rebuild just to make sure that we get that. Because we did alter a backend page, so we do have to get that. And hang on a second, I see people are saying stuff in the channel. I just want to get this going. Okay, so scheduled streams for DevChatter. Nice. So that actually worked. Oh man, a lot of people said stuff. Holy cow, what's going on? Every time I save my code, the error list pops up with that as the error or not. Oh, weird. I believe it's an optimization. Prevents having to get back to the same thread. Okay, thanks for that, Will. Twitch Presents is having an Inspector Gadget marathon until the 24th. Neat, they're just playing Inspector Gadget. Working on a way to hopefully fix the anime streaming industry's messing up business practices by starting my own legal anime streaming site that has all the... hang on. Wait, what? I don't know why that message got caught by the auto mod. I think there are a lot of things that mean things that I don't know that they could potentially mean things that the auto mod catches, and I apparently don't know enough really bad slang to understand why it's catching them. Okay, so day of the week, local start time, local end time. Those are crappy names, but they work, I guess.
We know what they mean at least. So
yes, we'll fix them later.
works
But
for
that
now.
yes, but that actually gets that working. So cool. We have a page. It should be filtered down to the ones that we want to see. Why don't we link this page from the channel details, or maybe from that one's index? So let's go to the higher up index level, right? And add in a link to the schedule. Maybe duplicate this line and say schedule. And the route ID should be item ID, right?
Yep.
And actually, do we want to do schedule index and then that, so it doesn't get confused and try to just put the number after that?
What do you mean put the number after that?
Well, because what I was worried is that it might put the 2 here instead of putting it at index 2, index /2, which I don't know what it would do with that. So I'm assuming we need the word index there, but I don't know that for certain.
Yeah,
Maybe I'm wrong.
Think we do. Let's try it without it and see if it.
Well, let me try this. I don't see the number on those routes. Maybe it's because it's not ID on that one. Route ID.
Channel ID. Yeah, we might need to use the route as channel. Channel ID.
Because it's right. Sorry, did I leave that number there? Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Wait, oh, yeah. Well, that's why it failed. Yeah, sorry. And actually, whoops, get rid of the end / there. Now it ought to work.
There you
go. So the weird thing with the way that those tags work in ASP.NET is it's looking for a page that's not a URL. There has to be a page at that location. So if you do anything that makes it not the page, it doesn't work. That's actually why I believe we do need the word index there, is because I don't think it works without it.
You're right.
I just realized that when I came here and the link was to the page we were on, not the one we were wanting to go to. But this looks like it works. So awesome. It links to the correct place. There's the ones for DevChatter, and this should be the ones for MyStream1. So perfect. We have a way to get to that page. Excellent. Let's actually link to this page on our layout before I forget to, so that it's slightly more convenient to get here in the first place. So I'm going to do one of these. And I'm going to make this one be streams index. Streams. There we go. So now when I'm on the home page, there's a page to go to the streams, and then from here I can click to get to the schedule for that stream. Awesome. Perfect. There we go.
Excellent.
Cool. So now that we're here, when I click on the create, it takes me here. It shows me the correct time zone, so that wired up nicely. That maintained the ID, I notice. I don't know how it maintained the ID, but it did.
It's just part of your current route, so it that state is
Yeah, it just didn't get rid of it.
Yep.
Yeah, I like it. I didn't do anything special, and it did what I wanted it to.
Pit of success, I think, is what they call that.
Yeah, I would definitely call that falling into the pit of success. Okay, so on the create page, we need the day of week, which we've got. We need a start time and an end time, which we've got. Okay, this might already work.
Yeah, that'd
Maybe.
be interesting.
So this is the page. I'm here on it. If you jump to me real fast, you'll be here too.
Yep.
Do you know how to do that, by the way?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, cool.
you just click on your initials there in the top.
Yep. All right, so in here, we should be posting our data. And we should be bound to this? Create stream time view model, which gets us those values as an ISO day of week and strings for these.
Looks good.
So then
The
down
only
here
thing
we
is
should
the
get the
stream
data.
time, we haven't set the time zone ID on it yet. So it's, which we probably were doing before.
We don't need to, right? Because we have that on the channel.
Right, which we got on the get. I'm just saying on the post here we haven't.
Oh, yes. We would need to.
At that
We would
point
want to
it
grab
hasn't
that.
been initialized
Well,
yet.
actually, we can store it in the database initially without creating the instance versions. Without that,
Can we do this? Would that give us what we need?
we could get away with that only if we save that as an invisible value that we passed up afterwards. But we don't need it to save it, is what I mean. It's not on the data model,
Okay.
right? The data
Oh,
model
it isn't.
doesn't. Yeah. So we could just create the data model from it. So on our post, let's see, we modeled here already. That should get us this. Let me confirm what that type is. Scheduled stream, yeah, so that's the one. So we just need to save this. And this doesn't actually need to happen. This is experiment to make sure all the code works.
Okay.
We did that with John. And it does work. So what that lower stuff does is that does the prediction for like the next 12 months, basically, like when
See, I
are
thought we
all
were
the
actually saving those here, so yeah.
we can't no we're going to eventually. Let's save the first one first. Let's do the easier part first.
Absolutely.
Because we then have to store 52 records. So let's store one, and then we'll do the 52 afterwards. And yes,
Sounds good to me.
I'm going to change that name to be on post async, which, yes, there's a big debate about that, whether or not we should be doing that. And I'm going to change this one too. Because someone's like, how many years do we have to suffix with async before that's considered the default? And
At least 2 more.
yes, exactly. I kind of agree. There's enough code that's synchronous that I'd rather suffix. Okay, so scheduled streams. Oh, you are correct, actually. Let's do this. You are 100% correct, sir. We need that. Which we must have the channel ID still, right?
Yeah. That should come through still.
That should definitely, the action should not have removed that when it posts back to the page. So we should still have the value. It should get posted both times. So we can add that. Yep. And then
Does it have a channel ID? No. So we're gonna have to add it
yeah.
to the channel, aren't we?
No, you I was gonna say just let's just do channel.add
Yeah.
channel.scheduledstreams.add, and then you actually don't need to do the context line.
Yeah. Oh, add the channel? No, that's not right.
Yep. Now we can just save. Sounds good. And then
Cool.
let me just put this in here to do make the 52 instance records, which later on will be done right before we do that save changes. And essentially this will be like insert the whole set into the database all at once, which we could do as 2 separate calls, but I'm generally not worried about a page like this adding that data in. I'm not expecting this site to be popular enough at any point, let alone in the future, to really merit anything other than this.
So we don't need hyperscale here, is what you're saying?
Okay, so I would love it if at some point the developer community of live streaming community is to the point where that would matter, but I don't think that's going to be needed, certainly not at the launch of this. Okay.
Thoughts on, so James is asking thoughts on Razor pages as opposed to views. Any specific scenarios where you favor the other?
I generally like the way that Razor pages work. I especially think that they make sense for the majority of developers thinking. Like, I think most people would think, yeah, I go to this location, I go to this page, and I think that makes a lot more sense than the concept of a nebulous route existing where you display something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we're on the same page there.
Yeah. I like what you did. That was good. Yeah. So I actually think that there's a lot of value in having both. That's what I like about the way that ASP.NET Core did here, is that we do get Razor pages for these concepts where, hey, I've got a page, I'm doing a thing on that page, makes total sense. I think there are some concepts where the view and controller are going to make more sense. So I think for your standard, you're making an index page, make an index page, right? Like, that's what it is. Like, make a Razor page. If you're doing some weird scenario, yeah, okay, do controllers.
Yep. For me, anything new, I'm defaulting to Razor pages, and if that just starts to feel clumsy and weird, and it's just easier to do the other way, then I switch over.
Yep, I do the exact same thing. So that's good. Okay, so let's check out our schedule, and let's see if we can make one. So let's try Tuesdays from 2 to 4 p.m. Create, and boom, breaks. Okay, cool. That's fine. Maybe we didn't pass up that ID, because we got a null ref on channel.scheduledstreams.add. Oh, actually,
We
nope.
didn't include it when we did the query.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. Wait. Yeah, you're right. And when we include that way, because we included, it doesn't matter whether or not there were any or not. That should be an empty collection and not null because of the fact that we included it.
That is correct. Okay,
so, and it should be single async. There we go.
Right.
Async all the things. All right. Good catch, good catch. Razor pages with Blazor. There you go. I really do want to mess with Blazor. It's killing me how long I'm having to wait. I'm just trying to wait for a slightly more stable version.
Hurry up and wait longer.
Yeah, that might have just worked. Hang on.
That is something that we've been playing around with over on ASP.NET Monsters. If you go check out our YouTube channel, we've been doing some Blazor work.
Oh, I didn't. Hang on. Did that work? Okay, there we go. Dave, you are you should be able to link now in the chat if you wanted to.
Oh yeah. We do that.
Well, that looks horrifying and awful. I don't know if you, I don't know if you can see that.
Uh,
Oh yeah, Johan, what's the
oh,
fun and
because
stable?
yeah,
So I agree. It is a lot of fun to use unstable code and mess around with the preview bits. The challenge that I don't want to run into is, so I would do that for a one-off here. I don't want to build anything in that because already for the stream, I only really have as much time as I stream to really dev this stuff. So it's one of those, like, I don't want to go having to do a lot of rework. You guys haven't named your channel link yet, huh?
we have not.
Yeah, you guys should do that.
We need to do that. We do have enough subscribers to do it, so.
Yeah. Okay, so it looks like we have hour 14 and hour 16 as the starting and ending points, which seems right, on Monday and Tuesday. So that is a horrifying look at that data, but yeah.
Does appear to be correct, at least.
It does appear to be correct. And, correct is the important part, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's take a look and see if we can't nice that up a little bit, because that's awful. John actually helped us with this. Well, actually, how do we want to do this? So we want to display this, right? We could put it in UTC and then a... So I'm assuming on the front end, we probably want to have it... we probably want to use something like Moment.js to get the dates to actually display in the time zone we really want. I would think.
Yes, that sounds.
Because that'll handle some of that for us.
Yeah, sounds right. So if we just dump this out in UTC, like you said, well,
although here we can actually just show it nicely in local time. So we could actually just show in the time zone that we have here and just say at the top of the page what time zone it's in. This is for that user.
Yeah.
So this is the... Yeah.
Because it's actually hard to display this in local time, or to convert it to whatever the browser's local time is, because we're not talking about a point in time, we're just talking about like 2 o'clock on a Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly. Which means that we do want to do...
so I think all we need to do is just display the time portion of this.
Yes. It should just be a time portion, isn't it? Yeah, that's just a time portion. It just has some other content about it, like the number of ticks, because it two-stringed a note-a-time object, and turns out note-a-time gives us a lot of details when it two-strings.
All of it. All of it.
So let's actually ask note-a-time. Time format. So we do not date. How did I end up on date? I wanted time.
Local time, I think we just do HHMM if we want to do the...
Does it just use the standard set?
It actually will work with uppercase H and lowercase h.
Actually, I just remembered something. We can do this, right? Zoned date time pattern.
There you go.
Which actually, let's do this. Public static read only zoned. Do they not have a time pattern? Okay, that's fine. So I'm going to leave the date portion off of this and see if it can function with just a time pattern. Like, see if we can tell it to do that. Where's the create page? Is this it here? No, the index page is where we want to show it. This is where we're displaying it.
Yep.
not this one. The other
No,
index
the other
page.
index. Glad it wasn't
Right
just me
here.
making that mistake over and over again.
No, it's not just you. Which actually, now that I think about it, we could almost just do that conversion in the display and just make a view model or something like that.
Yeah.
That site looks like all of my sites.
Certainly looks like all of mine initially.
Yeah, all of mine look like this until I actually make it nice, which either means going and grabbing a sorry, words. Going and grabbing a theme or
Yeah.
getting a designer to help me with that.
There's also just a date time format info dot short time pattern. Oh, never mind. Ignore what I'm saying.
I'm just going to do this. And I think that's what it needs. So there's a pattern, there's that, and let's just do it with the start time. So if that's the because it's just in the Razor page, so it should update automatically with that. We shouldn't have to do a full recompile unless it just bombs. Oh, right, because that's not actually the thing. That's a display for that value. That's not an instance of it.
Oh.
So let's do this then. Yeah, because
we don't really need a display for it. We can just dump it out too, right?
True, but I mean, we could also just do this. If we go to the backend page, instead of actually using that value, we could convert to a view model that does it. But yeah, we can just put the value in, so sure. We can just put the value in. Go for it.
Your way was probably more correct. But
Your way works, which is what matters, right?
what was it? OG?
Do you want this?
Oh.
Hang on. It's on my clipboard.
There you
go. Which means we can do the same thing down here for end time. Oh, I was just going to do this. Bonk. Right?
My Visual Studio is crashing again.
Oh, is it? Awesome.
Yep.
Go Visual Studio.
I'll be back in a minute.
Character O is not a format specifier. Oh, thanks, John.
So I don't see O on the... So I think when we're talking about just a time without a date on it, you can't do like the zone stuff because it's just a time. It has no concept of what day it's on. So I think we just drop that part of it. We just do the HHMM.
Yeah, you're totally right. I can't get those in there. Well, in that case, I need some kind of concept of a... No, that's not the one I wanted. I want some way of displaying what time zone that's in at minimum, right?
Yeah, so that'll be a separate.
I guess we should just display it somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point. We could just make it the next field over.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, you're so smart. See, that's why we invited Dave. He's the smart one today. All right, so this one is a display for something else. That would be like channel dot time zone ID, which I guess we can just display the time zone ID for now.
We can convert that to a name eventually.
Yeah, we'll convert that to a name eventually and make it nice in the back.
Looks like we do need a view model here because it's getting a little much with what we're putting in the view. I'm back.
Time zone ID, that. Wait, who's back?
I am.
Oh, good. You reconnected. Awesome. Yeah, I can see that. Except that that's not how you comment inside of HTML.
You're right.
Anybody else notice that?
I'll do it again. Oh my gosh, how do you even comment?
Oh man. Oh, jeez. The ASP.NET monsters have been defeated.
Terrible.
Watch this.
Hang my head in
Boom!
shame.
Look at that! I commented in Razor.
Visual Studio just crashed again.
Oh, did it? Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Why don't you try VS Code?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that next.
Okay, sounds good.
This is booting me out way too frequently now.
When would you prefer a C# web API versus pure HTML, JavaScript, CSS front end over this Razor stuff? When would you prefer a C# web API and pure HTML over this Razor stuff?
So doing like
Twitch
a
Law.
spa.
Yeah, so certainly if I'm doing a spa application, we can do that. There are actually a lot of sites where that is a perfectly valid approach. Part of the reason I wanted to do the Razor Pages stuff is because people want to see the Razor Pages stuff. Which, it's reason enough, I think.
Yep.
So,
and what we're doing here is pretty...
for pretty simple, like, data
interaction
entry
there,
pages, yes.
Sometimes it's just faster to go with Razor and server-side rendered HTML, in my opinion.
Okay, so we were thinking view model for this. Model.channel.timezone.id. We're going to do that for now. There we go. America, New York, America, New York. Which is not the best name for it, but hey, we mostly understand what that means.
Yep.
So let me put in a little to-do for us for the future. So, whoops. This is to-do. Make that a friendly name instead. Okay, cool. So that displays now. So nice. We have basic records of these. The one thing I noticed when we created, we did not go to this index page, which we should. So we need to redirect after the create to get to this index page so that we can see the new record there.
Yes.
So I'm going to open this up and see what the heck is supposed to happen. Redirect to, there we go. Thank you, other page, for telling me how to do it. Because I couldn't remember what that was called.
It's the beauty of the scaffolding. See the basic pieces you need.
Wait, redirect to page. Was that supposed to be, hang on. It's a task of action result. Derp. There we go. So, perfect. So that ought to send us to the right place. I'm going to leave that commented out code on the bottom because that's the code that's going to make our 52 things. I just talked to future you. He appreciates that to do. Plutonin, yeah, it is ReSharper that is making it the blue magic for the to-do. Although Visual Studio also does something special with them, despite not changing the color of them. If you go into view, where's task list? Task list right here. You can actually see these are the to-dos in this project. So anytime you did a to-do comment, it shows up right here. And the extension that I have that turns it this blue color is ReSharper. So normal color. Or hang on, I'll be culturally sensitive here, and we'll do that.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
with an optional U. We don't want any confusions here. It's important that we make sure we get all the letters from A to ZZ.
Time zones near a black hole.
What is this project? Make a VS extension that creates GitHub issues when typing in a new to-do. Twitchloft, that would actually be useful. It would be best if it prompted you to do it when you did that. Like if it said, hey, do you want to make a GitHub issue for this?
I feel like I've seen that with the STS, or I guess it's Azure DevOps now. I've seen a demo of a plugin that does that.
They might have one, yeah. It'd be useful.
Yep.
Okay, so that, I think that's worth trying. This is going to need a build in order to work because I changed a backend page, which I always worry aren't going to compile if I don't do that. So streams, let's check out my stream, which doesn't have anything scheduled yet. Create a new stream. So we're going to say that this guy streams on Fridays at 2 a.m. To 4 a.m. clearly. So 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. and we're back on this page. So that's nice. It redirected us to the right page. So we're not like stuck on there doing the like, hey, did my button click do anything? I have no idea.
Sweet.
All right. So those seem to go in nicely. So we can add data a little bit. It's not ideal. How do our edit and details page? Details? Okay, details is as bad as we thought it would be. Edit didn't flag the day of week. Because I don't think we gave it the data set because it's got to be an enum. There's weirdness with the enum, so we'll wire that up. Why don't you get the details page and I will go take a look at the edit page. Sound good?
Yep.
Okay. Divide and conquer. So
Yes.
So mine needs to get that, and I can steal it from here. Stealing code from myself. Do I need that? Not sure why that was there. Maybe I wrote that way before. So realistically, I just needed this. Okay. Now when I go to the edit page, hey, it picked the right date too. Cool. All right, so that worked. Okay. Maybe a /GitHub then. Yeah, it could be Twitchloff. Zachariah. Yeah, that was a good try. I have a feeling that didn't work. That was a nice attempt, though. How would you handle this case?
I think we got the details page working in theory,
Cool.
or looking good anyway.
Let me take a look. Oh yeah, that looks great. I love what you do with the red text. I don't know if you looked on the stream at all when I said that.
Oh, it just caught up. Yeah, I
definitely
didn't get that right then.
I have no
What's he
idea.
complaining
I will
about?
jump over to the details page and see what happened.
Item instead of model. I copied and pasted some things. I may have stole some code.
What? I would never have done that. That's totally not what I did on the other page.
Just following your lead.
Hang on. Why is it not finding the model?
I have lowercase model is the problem.
Oh, okay. I believe you. It's still reading text, but we'll see what it does. If it works, that's what really matters. Derp. Are we missing a value or something?
What is our model here? I should.
Yeah, we should figure that out. Let's take a look in the back end and see what's going on. So the model is going to be page model, which needs to have a channel on it, which it doesn't because you're using a channel.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so
let me go steal that from the other one. There we go. And
we need both the channel and the stream then.
Yeah, we need to.
We're going to be doing 2 queries. Oh, and our stream doesn't have a channel ID on it. So when we have the ID of just the stream.
No. We're yeah, that's why we should go both ways on that, shouldn't we? Because we only have the stream's ID. Yeah. Yep. So we're gonna add it to that model then, and that'll make it all easier.
Yeah.
Prop channel done. Okay,
Right.
should just work. Yeah, just by including now. And I haven't mentioned this in a moment, but welcome Java, Tourmaline, Zerono, and Schwartz. Thank you for those follows, much appreciated. And Amadee, I'm guessing, Amadee. Yes, this is ASP.NET Core. You create a user razor page. On that page, if you view with some general user data, you want to add a login and logout features. So in this case, you should create user login, CSHTML, and user login. Actually, gather PL, I would use, so first off, there's some baked in user authorization and authentication code that you can use out of the box, the identity code that is included with ASP.NET Core. I would recommend using that for the one reason that they have handled a lot of security checks that you would need to not forget. In addition, the way that actually works, because I don't think most people actually know, because it is actually kind of tricky what they did, that is actually set up with views and controllers. It's not set up using pages, so it's using the old model, and the reason why they did that is that they can compile the Razor page and the controllers and access them from a couple of places. So you may have noticed that in the current version of ASP.NET Core, when you include that, you actually don't have a full area for it. Let me show you. There used to be an identity area, which I still have, but look at how empty it is. This is the whole identity section that gets included on my site now. I have a view start page, and that's it, right? Everything else is compiled into the DLL automatically and just included. So that's actually what they saved us with this. So it's pretty nice.
That's good stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Okay, well,
I'm
so
assuming
that
you did a
details
thing
page
while I
should
was
work
doing
now.
that.
I did, yeah. Oh, one failed still.
Hang on, I'm going to try building. Details models not contain a definition for local end time and local start time. Wait, is it scheduled stream that?
Oh, it is, yeah. I had it right on the display name for.
Wait, hang on. Let me try building again, because that might have just been an I need to rebuild error.
Okay, the build succeeded this time.
Yeah, okay.
So.
Yeah, because when I saw that error message, I'm like, wait a minute, I know that error's wrong. Let me try rebuilding. Yeah, so I just needed a rebuild there. Because it hadn't done it yet. Okay, so day of week, Friday. Starts at 2 a.m., ends at 4 a.m., and that's the time zone. So, nice. And when we go back to the list, can it get back to the list? No, it can't get back to the list.
We're
going to need to fix that link.
Because of the
we need
ID
to add
is
the
using
route
the
ID.
scheduled stream.
Nope, that's not the right one. No. Edit's fine. Edit's right.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we want to change the lower one. How are you editing in both places? I'm so confused right now.
I'm doing a Control-Z. I think it's applying it to both my edits and yours.
Whoa.
That's pretty trippy.
What is this? It's route ID?
Route dash channel ID, I believe.
Actually, I think we can get away with this. Because I think this is what we got away with elsewhere. Schedule stream.channel.id. Did we included the channel, right?
We did,
must
yeah.
have.
Because we used that to display the time zone ID there.
Okay, so back to list still doesn't work. Maybe you're right. Maybe we do need to channel ID it. I just didn't think it could do that. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, you win. You win, sir.
It was okay with the lowercase I there.
Yeah, did fine with it.
Cool.
Brought us right over. Although let's fix it because you're right. I should do a capital I there, but hey. no complaints because it worked. So
Mm-hmm.
where else are we going to run into that problem where there's going to be a back to something that we're going to get wrong in these pages?
Possibly that. Is there one on the edit?
Back to list on the edit
There is, yeah.
page. Yep,
Same
good
thing.
call. I assume you're in there now already?
Yeah, I'll just copy it.
Is this the right one?
This is why I type it over again.
Yeah. Okay. We don't have that on the model.
We don't, you're right.
I didn't
dealing
figure
with
that
here?
out.
The model is
The code it didn't compile right.
you're right, compiler.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we have a scheduled stream.
Schedule. We're in the edit backend page.
Mm-hmm.
We need so we have a scheduled stream which should have a channel, right?
Yeah, but we would need to include it.
Let's do one of these and one of those. See, that's a little bit nicer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why we don't null ref when trying to make our link back to the list. Hey, back to the list works just fine. Yes, excellent.
I guess the delete page as well.
Oh, yes. The delete page will have the exact same thing.
Yeah. Then we're also going to have to do the dot include.
I'm going to anchor to you. And welcome, Ryan. I'm guessing is how you spell that. Maybe it's Rayan. Just guessing. But let me know if I ever pronounce your name wrong, and that goes for anybody. But what do I do if I want to change the identity site? Plutonin, you can wire up different identity systems in there, but I mean, that's the same kind of problem that you always run into. Do you mind showing how you configured the Razor page URLs? James, these are standard out of the box except for the index page right now and the create page, which have these declarations at the top. You don't want to use the default identity. If you don't want to use the default identity, then I would still recommend that you do it using controllers instead of Razor pages, because of the fact that authentication, authorization, that sort of thing is a cross-cutting concern, and you'll want things like a logout button to be able to exist anywhere and not be tied to a page. You don't want to make someone go to a page to click a logout button. And it's nice to be able to just put a logout button in the layout and just click that from anywhere and have it go to a controller. Yes, generally speaking, if you need really complicated routing stuff, you're better off in MVC than in Razor pages. And the question about what is the ASP-code, that is actually Razor Pages stuff. That is essentially the aspect, what's it called? Tag helpers? Is that tag helpers? No, it's, David, what's that called?
Yeah, those are
tag
part
helpers?
of tag helpers, yeah.
Yeah.
Tag helper attributes is what they would be, I guess.
Yes. Yes, and it's specifically the attributes. You got the word I was missing, why that sounded wrong. Because tag helpers could just mean like the old HTML helper things that we used to have back in the day, which were okay. Cool.
I got delete working, but
I mean, let's find out by refreshing a delete page. That's never dangerous. Did I compile first?
looks like it.
Streams, schedule, click on delete, back to list, hey, details, back to list, edit, back to list, details, over to edit, and then back to list. Awesome. Everything works, and let's get the styling on the delete page. to match the same styling
Oh,
we did
yes.
elsewhere, like on the
Which
details
is the
page.
details page. Just copy that over.
Yeah, it's like 99% the same.
There we go.
Awesome. Let's find out. Did we get it?
I think those are scaffold the
Hey,
same.
awesome. The funny thing being that really all we're doing is removing data because we don't want to see it. It's hilarious how much two-stringing the note-of-time value actually got. Like,
Super
like,
useful for login purposes,
yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah, when you're trying to actually just display it on the screen, yeah. I guess it's good because it forces you to think about how you want to display it in this context.
That's basically what John's explanation of note-of-time was to us. Was
Yeah,
basically, we want to force you to think. We're not trying to be easy to use
yeah,
because we don't want you to mess this up, and we want you to actually have to pause and think about how you use these time values.
yep.
And it's like, yeah, that makes sense. This is something we're likely to mess up. Um, I heard someone, that actually reminds me, interesting developer thing that I figured I'd bring up. Someone was talking about Y2K being overhyped. I don't know if you've heard people talk about that, but I've heard this from like non-devs, and they're like, oh yeah, that was super hyped. That was nothing. And I sit here and I'm like, so for anyone that doesn't know, I'm actually a second generation programmer. And so I happen to, be the child of someone that was, fixing their, company's stuff from decades of having been a programmer, like all the stuff that needed to get fixed that everyone had built. And it's like, no, you don't understand. If we didn't fix this, like every single application at, any given company was
Yep.
going to fail. And
The
that's like
thing,
all over the world, companies were going to fail, but developers fixed it.
yep. It was hyped in some ways because I remember people telling me that my toaster was going to stop working and like all these devices that had no concept of what the date was. Like, why would it care?
Yeah, it's mostly just that companies were just suddenly going to just stop functioning,
Yeah,
which has a
exactly.
lot of other ramifications. Like your toaster's going to be fine, but like,
But it was a really big deal for banks.
oh yes, yes, there's going to be a huge deal for banks, but really almost any company because even if you're not a bank, you often have financial applications within your organization that,
Hmm.
man, if they messed up, that's going to be huge problems, like messed up customer orders and like,
Payroll.
yeah, like the amount of job losses around the world if something like that happened, like hadn't been discovered and fixed in time would have been crazy. So, okay, so where to next? So we want to wire this up with, so we can add these in. Wow, that's really funny. We can already get these added in. That's actually pretty nice. I'm happy about that. That's not bad. Do we want to try displaying somewhere what the schedule is given a time? Like I, as a user, in some way indicate what time zone I'm in and show me stuff that's going to be on that date. Actually, let's make our
I
50
think we need
instances first.
to, yeah, we need to create those instances
Yeah, let's
before we
make
can
those
do that.
instances. Oh, geez, we should have made a to do for that.
We should have. We should have made a to do about to remind us to make a to do.
Okay, no, that was a joke. We did make one. All right, I'm going to close all these files because I don't need them open. We want to be in this file, in the back end of this file, so we're going to go over here, and hey, back end of the file. I'm going to delete those. I don't need those anymore. To do, make 52 instance records. Sounds good. Oh, I was going to do that.
Exactly what I was going to do.
Yep. Almost like we realized John Skeet wrote this code for us, and he didn't even put it on Stack Overflow first. Thanks, John. We probably do want to put the version number on the record, so
I think we do, yeah.
let's pull the version, and then where do we create the records here?
Yeah.
Suggested sessions, we don't want to use that anymore. We want to add this into some collection that's actually on the DB context. Local date next. Stream time, local start time. What is local start time in this context? It's that. Oh, wait. We turned this into stream. No, it's just stream now. That's the model.
Suggested sessions. Where is this defined?
This is up here.
Oh.
And it's gone. Magic! I hit my delete key.
Okay. So what are the...
So these should be directly on the DB context.
Okay.
So I'm just going to say underscore DB, what do we call it? Context dot. They're not the, wait, I thought I put them on here. Oh, I might not have created them yet.
That's why I was so confused.
FDB context. Yeah, it's this commented out thing right here. That one, right there. So in that case, let me do this. Let's go back here. I'm going to comment this out, and then we're going to commit all this, and then do that.
Okay, good idea.
Yeah, we don't need that anymore. We're not doing the suggested sessions thing. And we don't have the script at the bottom of the page either. Okay, let's commit. So this is wiring up the basic CRUD pages. Right, so wire up schedule CRUD pages. Okay. Whoop, let me add you. What's your GitHub name?
Paquette.
Search for user. Hopefully that's you.
Just waiting for the stream to catch up.
If not,
it's a
some
little
other
monster
dude is.
dude.
I have no idea. It didn't put it.
That's me.
Okay, cool. Glad we got the right one. All right, so now that we've got that, I want to add this in. So let's go ahead and do a quick add migration. And yes, I am watching the clock because I know that you turn into a pumpkin soon.
I do, yeah.
What's this migration?
Add stream session.
So, yeah, it's add stream session sessions table. And let's see if that does what we want it to do. Hey, welcome.
What is being built here? Says death charge.
Oh, we need to map those types. I didn't map those types yet. So we are building a website that can do scheduling so that developers can say when their live streams are going to happen. And this will be a place where viewers could then go and look for which live streams are going to be live at any given time in the future. So let's go look at this. So this is our model.
Where did you do these mappings?
What? They're in the context.
I'm curious
right
where these
here.
mappings exist here in this app.
They're right down here.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is where these ones are. But we need to do a mapping for this one if we want to do this. So this is set up, what are they, stream sessions?
Yep.
So we'll make that method, create that, make it static because we're civilized, and understand that if something has no dependencies, you make it static, regardless of whether it's, really needed to be for any other reason. Model builder dot entity of type. What is this?
Stream session.
Stream session. Builder. And then from within here we can say builder dot property. And we can say For each one of these properties that needs a mapping, so that's local start time and end time, we need to actually handle them. So we can say has conversion, and the conversion is going to be x to... did I already convert one of these?
Yeah, right below here in
Tick of day.
schedule.
Yeah, actually, let's just steal these,
Yeah,
because these are exactly the same.
they're the same.
Yeah. Oh, these ones have dates on them.
Right. So it's not the same. It's probably...
They're very close.
Do we want tick of day?
We need more than that, I think.
I think so.
What is this? This is a local... that's a local date time. Ooh, that's a good question. Yeah, exactly, Death Charge. That is, it is exactly the point, is to try and make it possible for people to actually find this information somewhere, because it doesn't really exist. So our plan right now is to allow people to just enter it manually, and we might do something later where we try to have the program intuit it. Let's say local date time. So hang on. We have... Okay, here's the deal. We have the time zone with this information, right?
Yes.
So... how do...
Is it actually the... So the local date time, we actually want to... Is that something that we're calculating on the fly at display time in whatever the user's current time
That's a good
zone
point.
is?
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe
And
we
it's
do
the
only want to store
UTC
the
one
UTC.
that we want to save. I think so. Because it's
Yeah.
going to be... The local date time is going to be different for everybody.
Yeah, and for these instances, that doesn't matter. So you're right. You're right. Let's pull this off. These do not need to be on these, because they're on the other ones. Do we need the time zone ID? Technically, no.
No, because we have the UTC start time and end time. Well, we could get it from the channel if we needed it. The only time we would need it is if we needed to recalculate those UTC.
It should be associated with its stream. Oh man, should it be associated
Yes.
with its stream. Yeah. Scheduled stream.
You are correct.
That's the one it's associated with. Which also means those can't get deleted then as long as these still exist. I guess we won't keep a history of whether or not the stream happened, because we don't know whether it really happened. It was scheduled to happen. So
yeah, right.
We should delete these when they're in the past. Or when someone deletes their schedule, we can delete the ones that were in the past of these instance ones. Okay. Because we're not Twitch, right? We don't we don't need to keep that. We're not Twitch, we're not YouTube, we're not anybody that's actually keeping this stuff. We're just trying to help people schedule.
We're just looking out to the future.
Yes. Okay, so channel, scheduled stream, instance UTC. Yeah, okay, that's way better. All right, that should make this simpler too, because now we're doing the whoops, it's UTC.
Yeah, the UTC, which I'm wondering if those serialize on their own. Do they need a conversion?
That's a good question. Let's comment that out and find out. Yes.
They do? Okay.
Yeah.
Just trying to find the docs for what UTC What was the type on those?
Instant.
Okay.
Node of time instant. SQL entity
instant.
framework.
.ticks. It is a long. So yeah, this is just a classic number of ticks. It's the Unix beginning of time.
Yeah, we could just put it in as a long.
Or we can do the conversion here and just do x.ticks.
Wait, what? We could do what
There
now?
should be a property called ticks on the instant. Oh no, that's a constructor, sorry. Instant.ticks.
I'm not seeing it.
Sorry, x.ticks. Is it not
UTC
there?
time to Unix time ticks?
So
they apparently changed the name.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So then this would be instant.
So the constructor takes in the number of ticks.
Unix time ticks.
There you go. That's not matching the documentation I'm looking at. But
are you looking at old documentation?
I don't think so. 1.4?
Then I have no idea. These are going to be required. Is there anything else weird on stream session? Whoops.
I don't think so. Not anymore.
Scheduled stream, so that's just a foreign key, that's a foreign key, and then that's a string that is used to invalidate. So there we go.
Looks good.
Okay, excellent. Let's build, and then I will attempt to run the migration again. I see some of the something in chat. How's your site using both C# and JavaScript, if you don't mind my asking? So we're using Razor pages. So essentially, even within our CSHTML file, the CSHTML file is a C# HTML combo file that has both C# using Razor. It's actually a Razor file, which is its own syntax, and it's kind of like sort of a mesh between like C# style code and HTML code. And then we can also just put JavaScript in there or include it from another file if we want. Got a better explanation than that, David?
I'd just add that CSHTML gets processed on the server, and the C# is evaluated, and the result is HTML that gets sent down to the browser. HTML and JavaScript and CSS, potentially. It's just a way of generating your HTML, really.
I noticed a thing that we need to fix. And one more, actually. So I just want to require those, which I could put on the object, but I don't like putting them on the object. So let's go over here, and these three files that were auto-generated, get discarded, and I go and recreate them again. What do you mean? ZDoctor should be pair programming. Yeah. Pair programming. Paid programming. Yes, that's right. You didn't know? ZDoctor, the first person to ask that question, was paying for this whole thing. Our combined billing rate is $500 an hour, so how long have we been going now? Uptime.
Almost 2 hours.
So almost 2 hours. So that's $1,000, ZDoctor. Thanks. We'll watch for the check. Just let us know when that's in the mail. Okay.
Well, unfortunately, I'm going to have to jump off here for a call.
Yep. This is when he becomes a pumpkin. David, thank you for joining us. It was awesome.
Thanks so much for having me. This is fun.
Everybody say thank you to David because you like him. But seriously, he does have to go. So it was awesome. Take care. I will see you. Either at the next one of these or at some place where developers meet.
Sounds good.
All right. See ya.
Bye, guys.
Okay. There are no more monsters on this stream. Oh, it froze his face. That's pretty cool. Hang on while I turn on the music. Music for everyone. Ah, good. People chimed in the chat. Awesome. Hopefully he saw some of those. Okay, I'm going to keep going, but let me go ahead and make him his frozen face disappear. And actually, before we do that, let me give him credit for this. Well, I'll give him credit for the commit after we do that. Which one of these is the edit page? Is it this one? Oh, I don't even know. No. Dang it. No. Oh, yeah, it's this one. Okay. There we go. Click. 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 Hey, fixed. And we're back to normal. Is it me or guests only last as long as their beard? Yeah, that is absolutely correct there, Will. The amount of time that we're able to keep pair programmers on the stream with us is directly related to the length of their beard. So that's why Guy was able to stick around for like 5 hours. So, okay, so let's have a look at this. Nullable false, nullable false. Okay, so all those are nullable. We ended up with an ID, a channel ID, a stream ID, the UTC time, start and end time, as well as a time zone version. So looks good. That is constraints based on the foreign key. And yeah, excellent. That is what we wanted. That's what we wanted to see. Let's commit this. So fix stream session model and create table. And let's add David back in. Okay, there we go. Oh, and so Ace Flames here, we're not doing a 24-hour stream for Christmas. However, we are doing a special holiday event stream on Thursday, so I hope to see you all there. We're doing a special event. It's going to be fun. We'll be doing some interesting stuff. I'm talking with companies about getting some kinds of prizes and stuff for giveaways. So if you want to win one of those, I recommend you show up. Or if you know of a company that we should be trying to get a prize from, digital's definitely usually easier than physical prizes, but those aren't ruled out completely. Let me know if you know of some organization that I should be chatting with about that. I already know what we're going to be building. It should be fun. I've got a lot of prep work that I want to do for that. But yes, looking forward to our stream on Thursday, which will be our holiday special. And if I missed anybody on thanking you for following or anything today, I'm not as attentive about that stuff while I have a guest on the stream. But thanks all the same for following. We do always appreciate it, and that includes you, person who I'm going to say Kid for the name of. And if I ever say your name in a weird way, like I don't pronounce it right, something like that, there's some way that you want me to pronounce it, let me know, and I will attempt to say it well. Okay, so we wanted to add this now. So we wanted to add the data to the database, so we could come in here and create one of these. So I wanted to say, wait, why is this complaining? Expected one of those for what? Why are you expecting a curly brace? Underscore context dot stream sessions add let's do that, which actually I want it in UTC, don't I? Next local date. We don't need, so yeah, it's next local date in zone leniently, and then I want this to date time UTC. And Death Charge. Thank you very much for that follow. Okay, so this is how we get those ones. So that's a zoned clock for the current date. So this would get us what the next date. So this gets us what today is according to that person for their time zone, regardless of when they're setting this up. And then this should get us what the next one is each time. And so we can say the next one of those plus local time. And then next plus 1 weeks is done right there in order to get us the next one. So that should tell us what the next local time is. So next local time in UTC. There we go. That's the one I want. UTC date time. So it's zoned, but zoned to UTC right there. So that's why it's got zoned date time on there, because it does have a date time set. Let's see, a zone date time is global in that it maps to a single instant. So this, we should be able to get a, can we get an instant off this? To instant. There we go. Var instant. So that's the local start time. So that's next local start date time is that. And this will get us our start instant. Or we can create it as a new stream session. So we're going to create this variable. That's going to be the stream session that we're going to add. This stream session is going to have a UTC start time right there. And then we're going to duplicate this because we need to do the same thing for the end that we did for the start. So instead of start, we're going to have end. Instead of start, we're going to have end. And instead of start, we're going to have end. And instead of start, we're going to have UTC end time. There we go. Okay, so that gets us one of those. In addition to these values, we wanted to have channel equals the channel, which we should already have. We don't need to set the ID. The schedule should be the one that we already saved. Stream. Right there. So we should have that value, which we do. And then we can set the to instance. We need the time zone DB value. So time zone version ID equals version. And let's do this then. We'll do the conversions up at the top to get us these values. And instead of setting these, I'm going to grab this and I'm just going to say UTC start time equals that. And then this will be UTC end time equals this one. We can get rid of these values. They're no longer needed. And then there's what we're going to create. So we start off in this loop. We are going to make essentially the next values for each one of these when we create it. Now this does make a difficult thing because now in the edit, we're actually going to need to delete and recreate these each time. So this is going to be a very volatile table. So there is that to remember. This is a very volatile table. Luckily it changes 52 records at a time. Whoops, I am not running the site. Oh, I didn't add it to the set. Derp. Context. Stream sessions. Actually, you know what? I added the channel to it. Because I added the channel and the stream, it should automatically just save changes should just work. If I do that, we're gonna add it all the same, just in case. Underscore context, stream sessions, add, stream session. So we'll add it to the context, and then we'll do the save down there, and then it should work. Let's go ahead and give it a try. Nothing like clicking a save button that adds 52 records into a database when you do it. Alright. So we're going to create this, and let's do Thursdays. Which, if I didn't mention, Thursday is actually when we're going to be doing our holiday special here on the stream. So that's Thursday the 20th. So click the button and watch for it to blow up. There we go. Okay. Time zone DB providers stream channel time zone ID didn't come back. Stream channel time zone ID. We pulled channel. Do I not have the time zone ID on these? Ace Flames here. Yeah, exactly. I'm probably not going to do that because, you know, I don't want to have a fake beard on my face. Because that does not actually sound fun. Oh, see, there's Ed chiming in right now with good news. Get hype, everyone. I think people can probably figure out what he's talking about. If you don't know who Ed is actually a streamer as well. Ed does a stream on Fridays. TCP version. Oh, stream doesn't have it. Channel has it. We're pulling it from the database. Derp. Derp. There we go. Got it. We pulled the wrong value from the wrong place. I'm going to try to resend that, although that may not work. Oh, it wants me to apply the migration. There we go. Let's see. M. Lyons, welcome. Thanks for that follow. Greatly appreciated. And thank you for that derp there. I did derp that. Let me try that update database. I don't know why it didn't work. Probably data in the database that it's complaining about. There must be a foreign key constraint. Yep. Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna nuke the data then. Goodbye, data. Is there not just a delete all? Delete. Goodbye, data. Goodbye, data. Goodbye. And channels, view data. That's the nice thing when you don't actually care about the data, is normally I'd have to put in a lot of work to to make that work right. But I don't have to. I can just get away with that. So woohoo. And the Tetrabyte, welcome. Thanks for that follow as well. May cause cycles or stream sessions may cause cycles or multiple cascade paths. Never mind, that is a different problem. I went and got rid of the data that I didn't actually need to get rid of because I didn't read it. That's what I get for not reading it. So in that case, we need to go look at this. So we said stream sessions. Maybe we want to get rid of the stream session. Let's go the other way. Let's go the other way. Let's go with a scheduled stream instead of a stream session, having the stream sessions. And welcome, Quabs. Thanks for that follow. Just guessing on pronunciation of names for everybody in there. As I said, if I do butcher your name, let me know and I will try to say it better the next time. I do about the best I can with those. Fix stream schedule. Actually, before I run that, let me open up stream session. I want to get rid of the scheduled stream if I can, because I want it linked to them because it's on there, not the other way around. And actually, does channel have both or just that one? Let's see if I can get away with that. This is gonna break. I need to. Hey, I got it. Awesome, thanks. I always like when I get a name right. Okay, so instead of putting that on there, I'm going to add these to the stream object, which is going to be this one. So we're not going to add them here. We're going to say stream.sessions, and I will answer your question in a moment. The what we're working on question, I mean. Okay. Give me 1 second while I finish this thought. Okay, awesome. Okay, property channel ID cannot be added to the stream session because there was no property type. Okay, I will fix that in a second. So the question of what we're working on, we are building a website that is designed to handle scheduling of future events that occur on a weekly basis. So that means I might schedule an event that happens every Monday or every Tuesday or every Thursday or something like that. The idea being that we are building it for software developer streamers, so people who do programming streams, so the type of content that you, loyal viewer, love watching. So the goal being that when you want to find a stream to watch, say this weekend or next week or something like that, you can go and look to see what streams are happening when. Now obviously streamers are all around the world and so have various time zones, so we are having to make sure that that time all gets adjusted to the correct values so that we can display it. So we're taking whatever time zone you're in, and we're recording it based on when the streamer does things so that it, still works right over daylight savings time changes and things like that. In addition, so not just the viewers, but then also streamers that are looking to start and want to get a schedule set up and decide when they want to stream can make sure they're not overlapping with someone else who does, who will have a similar audience. I want to say we'll have a similar audience. I think that's the best way of describing it. And James, you're asking about Instant. Instant is actually a type that is part of Notatime. So Notatime is a separate library of time storage than the standard .NET time values. And the value of using Notatime is that it is much better about handling all the various time zones and intricacies of time. So, Quabs, I'm glad you like the idea. Yes, good stuff, good stuff. M Lions, greetings, M Lions. And you love what you're doing, and you're glad to see an example of core web tech and C# being applied to a real project. Awesome! I'm really glad you like it. We actually do a lot of fun stuff here on the stream. So we do C# stuff, and C# and JavaScript is most of what we do here on the stream. Though we are going to dive into other things as well. I've got plans for all kinds of stuff that we want to do here on the stream. And Mr. Thomas Rayner, I'm guessing, I think I got your name right, but welcome. Thanks for that follow, much appreciated. And Janiscu, thanks for getting our stream schedule loaded into the chat there a handful of times. Okay, so I said I was going to fix this error after I finished talking to you guys. Okay, so you guys can't read that, it's behind my head. Now it's above my head. The property channel ID cannot be added to the type stream session because there was no property type specified and there's no corresponding... Oh, whoops, I know what that is. Ah, that's me. Nope, not that. Here, I meant to open this. Get rid of... It no longer has that foreign key. That was the problem. I was telling it how to handle a value that wasn't on it. So it was complaining about that. Sir Sislak, welcome. Thanks for following. Much appreciated. Okay, so hopefully that fixes the problem. Well, let's take a look at what it did. So this drops the foreign key on those, drops the index, drops the column. Great. So I think now when we run this, we should not have the cascading delete problem. Database. Let's find out. Crash. Okay, may cause cycles. Okay, so it still doesn't like my stream session key. Let me take a look at my structure right now. So my options right now are either remove the ability for it to have the loop or tell it how to handle it so that it does not cause a problem with the loop. And my initial stance is, well, we don't really need these connections, so let's get rid of the loop, which I thought I basically did, but let's have a look. So this, we grab a channel, pull a channel, pull that. Chrissy, the instant is actually a type, not a keyword. And it's out of the Notatime NuGet package. So right here. So that's where an instant comes from. So notatime.instant, and it is the reason why it's an instant is that is an instant on the global timeline is the idea. So not associated with any time zone. It represents an exact point in time itself, not an exact point in time with any kind of information about a time zone. So it has not been localized at all. And so that's the idea with that. Notatime is just a more correct way of dealing with time. More exact might be a better description. Yes, I highly recommend people check out Notatime. Not kidding. We did a stream last Tuesday where the primary maintainer of Notatime was actually our guest on the stream. So you can actually find that in the video section here on Twitch if you want to see that stream. Why is it yellow? Anyway, so if you want to check it out, it's actually really cool. You really should check it out. There's neat stuff. So after this stream or some other time, check out the video section here on Twitch, and actually you can find archives of our stuff on YouTube, though that video is not there yet because I do put a delay on those. So the videos are mostly only in one place at any given time, but the recent stuff that we've done here on the stream is here on Twitch in the video section. And if you don't know who the primary maintainer of Notatime is, there's a good chance you've heard of him, actually. Because you've used Stack Overflow before. Where did they not? Does he not? He probably doesn't have his name on this at all because he doesn't like. He's not like about that. But I just want to give you guys trust that this isn't some random person's thing. More info? No? Okay. Will this take us to the NuGet package? Who's the owner? Owner! Ah, there we go. I found the owner. And Quabs! Thank you very much for that Twitch Prime subscription. Glad you're enjoying the stream. And yeah, it was actually... So John Skeet is actually the guy that makes Nota Time. So you've heard of John because this is John Skeet. He is the top contributor on Stack Overflow, so odds are he has answered one of your questions on there before. Pretty good odds that you've gone there and found one of his answers. But yes, I do recommend taking a look. Quabs, you're graduating with your Bachelor's of Science in Computer Science in May, and this is very much in line with my interests, and you're trying to graduate with. Quabs, that's awesome. Yes. And yes, Juniscu, John Skeet's reading of the C# spec. A hilarious idea. Okay, I did not mean to click that. Okay, what do we want to do with this? So we have this value here. That definitely does not make a loop. This, if I remove that, we're gonna have a complaint in one spot. So instead of grabbing this, I want to grab a channel. I want to include the scheduled streams where scheduled streams dot contains whoops, I think a page down. Yep. S dot is that not? Oh, whoops, any derp ID. And actually, I want to get the single one where it's like that. Yeah, so if I do this, this gets nasty. Which means I want to put that back in, but I don't want it to be there. Alright, so clearly we need to adjust the cascade then. So let's grab that text and ask the internet how we get that one. EF, help me out, EF documentation. Because stage is required. Got it. Okay. Context. And let's jump back here, and where is it? It's not that one, it's this one, and this one. And, Obscore, welcome, thanks for that follow, much appreciated. Or maybe that's OB Score, one or the other. Just taking a guess. And hopefully I got it right, but welcome all the same. And welcome everybody else that is new here. If I haven't mentioned, because I don't think I have lately, be sure to check out our Discord. And if you don't know what Discord it is a chat application that, drop foreign key and add foreign key. Oh, okay, because referential restrict. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's try this time. Cross your fingers, that ought to fix it. Stream sessions on the other one could break it. There's other cascades? What? That would have broken before then. Isn't this the foreign key we just got rid of? Yeah, we're dropping it. M. Lyons, how would you describe DevChatter? Is it just a single developer, you streaming? I notice Ed and the others chiming in, being involved, pair programming. David, do you have a long-term plans, ideas, goals for the brand and channel? HHXX, welcome. Thank you, HHXX and friends. Thanks for that raid, much appreciated. Drop it like a hot cake. Answer that question. DevChatter is primarily me. I am the main streamer on it. DevChatter I consider more of a community kind of effort because there are a lot of you that I want to have involved in the streams, asking questions as well as contributing to the projects. That's part of the reason why everything is open source. And we have channels like our Discord where people can discuss ideas and things like that and make DevChatter a, more interactive and, fun place for developers. I like bringing on pair programmers when I can. We have actually had a lot of pair programmers here on the stream, so you are correct in noticing that. I'm sure I've missed someone, but I do maintain a list of our previous guests. So these are the people who have been on past episodes of DevChatter. We've had a bunch of people here who have come on and streamed with us. I have been here for every episode of DevChatter. And that is what episode number are we on? I don't even know. Hang on. Episode 154-ish? Wow, 154? Is that what it is? Okay, cool. So I have done 154 episodes of DevChatter apparently this year. So that is quite a few. And we will be doing a few more before the year ends, though not that many. So roughly speaking, that I guess averages out to, more than 3 a week for a year. So, not bad. So, yeah. I now have to update this because, David's been on here twice. So, I will get that updated. Either way, couple of other things I want to mention. So I know I did tell everybody that you can find videos of our previous episodes here in the video section on Twitch. That includes John Skeet's episode. You can also find a full archive of all our videos over on YouTube. And you should follow both me as well as our guests here. So I know Dave's name was below him before, but he is, let me link his as well, because he's not here to do it. Twitter.com/Dave Paquette. And that should be his Twitter if I didn't mess it up. Let me click on that and find out. Did I mess it? No, what? What? That was horrible. Windows, sometimes I hate you. Let's find out. Did I get the right one? Hey, I did. That's him right there. He's this monster dude. So I think I mentioned he is one of the ASP.NET monsters. You can also follow me. I am at Brendonius. That kind of looks like me a little bit. I mean, you can sort of tell that's the same person. So you can follow me on here, and you can follow DevChatter as well, and it is DevChatter with an underscore on the end. But yeah, that's those are other people you should follow on Twitter, because that's what makes you cool. Following people on Twitter. And I am serious about joining our Discord. It really is a cool place. There are, literally hundreds of developers in our Discord. So if you want to chat with people about cool stuff, some new announcement happens, you want a place where you can talk with a bunch of other interested devs who may have noticed the same announcement you did, and you want to get other people's opinions on XYZ new thing, that is a great place to chat about it. Other stuff, if you are not aware, we are doing a special event, and I want to make sure I mention this while I've got a bunch of people still here. We are doing a special event here on the stream coming up. We are doing our holiday special, and it will be on December 20th, and it starts at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that is 4.5 hours before now. So whatever time it is in your time zone, subtract 4.5 hours. That's when our start time will be on Thursday. There's a link with details for that event, so you can get a reminder just for that event. So even if you don't follow the channel and you want that, or maybe you want an extra reminder, there is that event right there. We're going to be doing some fun coding together. It's going to be different from a regular stream in some ways, and I'm going to try to get together some awesome stuff for giveaways. Someone chimed in the chat that he was working on that, arranging for one from the company he works for, and I'm talking with other people as well to see, who's got an interesting thing that they can put in as a fun giveaway for our viewers, because we love our viewers here. You guys ask awesome questions and hang out, and we really do appreciate that. So more details on that coming soon. It'll be Thursday, and I've got a lot of stuff to prep for it. Okay. So I am gonna just nuke that to make it work, so I don't actually have to deal with fixing it. Schwartz, did you use Raider in other streams? Do you mean Razor? So I've used Razor in other streams before. I'm not sure if Raider meant Razor or something else. Yeah, we have used that in some previous streams. No, not Blazor, Jignescu, but yes, we've used Razor in some other streams as well. We've done it in a number of them. Whenever we do our ASP.NET Core web pages stuff, we do use Razor for that. And we've done some JavaScript stuff as well. So, for example, if you haven't seen them, we have is devchatter.github.io.gamejams. So, for example, one of the projects that we are working on is we did this little thing. So we'd been working on some little game projects, so we can do like a little Tetris game on the stream, for example. So just fun little projects that we can work on together. And this is all vanilla.js, which we thought was kind of cool. Like, you don't usually make a vanilla.js project for games, so we're like, oh, that's kind of fun, let's do that. So I made a page where we can do various little games and one-offs and make it kind of fun. So anyway, a couple of things that I do want to mention. I mentioned that if you want to contribute to any of our projects, they're out on GitHub, but I do need to wrap today, everyone. So we are going to wrap around now, and I will see you all tomorrow for our next stream. I don't have a guest tomorrow, but we will be starting at our usual time, which is 2 p.m. Eastern. Actually, we're going to start a little bit early tomorrow. Sorry, we're going to start a little bit early. So I know it's scheduled for 2 p.m., but we're going to start it a little early because I actually turn into a pumpkin before 4 p.m. tomorrow. So in order to have a 2-hour-long stream, we're going to start a bit early. So keep your eyes peeled for that tomorrow. So I will see you all then. Thank you for hanging out. Yeah, Will, it'll be 1 minute early. That's right. No, it'll be earlier than that. So I want to do this before we cut. I want to roll some credits. So, no, it will not be Janiscu. That is not correct. Ardalis was apparently here. He didn't talk. Ed, thank you for hanging out. And I know I saw some other people in here as well that were missed. Wonderful followers, thank you for the follows. It is always appreciated. I'm glad all of you showed up. It is really nice to see new faces in the chat as well as all the old ones. And Quabs, thank you very much for that Twitch Prime subscription. I look forward to seeing you in future streams, and I hope you enjoy the DevChatter hype emotes and the sub badges. And everyone else, I really appreciate you hanging out. It is always fun. I look forward to talking to you in Discord and seeing everyone tomorrow. Oh, yes, and Ed. Ed was definitely here. So, thanks. Have a great one, everyone. Happy coding, and I will see you on Tuesday and Thursday. Sorry there's no Saturday stream this week. We're getting too close to the holidays there. Bye.